All right, next up on the PSL 82 hype, not 105, PSL 82 105. My first female guest, U82 extraordinaire, Chelsea Morgan, Mighty Mouse 573 on Instagram. How you doing, Chelsea?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Before I go into, I always do a couple accolades, right? In case anybody's living
Oh,
under a rock. Um, I'll talk about the first time. I don't know if we really met. We were in the same room. We were all talking and stuff, but I
sure.
didn't shake your hand. But I'm going to do a little bit of memory. 2024 PSL. I went down to support my boy Damon, and I just jumped in to volunteer. And this is like I always say, it's like falling on the sword, like my naiveness, right? Back then, I didn't know a heck of a lot of 82s or like weight class strong women, right? I knew the open scene a little bit. And really the only female that I knew of was Nadia,
Hmm.
probably because like she's jacked, right? She's got like
Sure.
she's got a cool look and a big Instagram presence. And it might have been for her doing like a crazy bench or overhead. So, and I didn't see her in person yet. I think you were one of the first women to walk into the venue. And I was like, holy shit, that girl's fucking jacked. Like, I know who you were, but I was like, Jesus Christ, like, you're fucking yoked, right? Like, respectfully, like that's a good thing, right? And in strongman, I'm finding that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
The one sport where it's okay to say like you look
Yeah.
big
It's
and
a good thing. Like we don't. That's what people are like. Oh, you look little. I'm like, please don't say that.
yeah, right. And then even in Nadia, and this one is not like a negative, but when Nadia came in, like she was jacked and shredded because I think you guys were cutting weight too and stuff, but like
Mhm.
wasn't quite as big. Like the camera adds 10 pounds, they say, like in Hollywood. Like she wasn't like as like jacked as I expected her to be, but like she was like compact and like just jacked. And you guys
Yeah.
put on the show. I remember because if I got my memory right, you did the squat event. You guys killed it in all the events. I think I was spotting on the axle press. Somebody else was spotting on the squats, and then we just had to help pick it up if any of the girls failed on the pad. You got like
Hmm.
20 reps, didn't you?
Yeah. So that was the year that I was an idiot and I got stuck in the hole on like 19 or 20, and then I pressed it up out of the hole. Because we were inside, we got shoved inside from the rain.
That's right.
But yeah, that was the first year that I was like, oh, okay, I had never done a squat in a competition. You know, it's not super common in strongman. PSL is making it very common for us. This is our third year in a row, and I love it. So yeah, that was my first year with it. It was great, great squat.
Yeah, it was incredible. What was the weight? That was like 400 or something.
No, that because last year was 405, I think. So then yeah, the year before would have been 400 or just shy of 4. He's increased it every year. This year's 410.
It's creeping up because yeah, like you shouldn't have to do 20 reps. So if a couple ladies are hitting in the teens and 20s,
Yeah.
like it's not cardio. It's not supposed to be cardio unless it's
Right. It becomes
apparently you,
cardio very quickly.
yeah, you or Jeff Laney, I guess, right? And
Right.
a couple others. I always say Laney, but Nick Hine had a lot of reps and suck up. So quick accolades for Chelsea. 2025, you had a hell of a year. North America's strongest woman, second place. OSG got third place. PSL 2024, you got fourth place, and last year you've got second place. So three huge shows, biggest shows in the world, and three podiums.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a great
like,
year. It was
yeah,
definitely a good one.
fantastic. You feeling good? Ready to build on that this year? Looking to try and get
Yeah.
some titles?
Yeah, this year's going really well. Prep's going great. I mean, we're in the suck of prep right now, just like everybody is. That's what the girls and I were just chatting in the group chat, and Aaron and we've talked a couple different times privately about how, we're gonna jokingly boycott the sandbag press shoulder load. Just because, I mean, my chin just healed like this morning from just rubbing the sandbag across my face because apparently I use my face to press a sandbag. So
I've been there.
that's
Yep.
been really fun.
That's that. I got a huge chin, so I've done. I hit log all the time. It's funny you say that because I was going to talk about that because I saw a post from Erin today where it said like how's prep going, and she failed a bag. I don't know what the bag weight was, but like she just couldn't get it. And I'm like, well, Erin's like one of the strongest out there. If she can't get the bag that's comp weight, that event could shake things up if somebody gets one rep. Like,
And the bag's not
sure.
heavy. That's what's frustrating. The bag is 175. Like last week when I was running it, I would get it like 1 out of 3 times. And it's not because the bag's heavy. It's because my stupid hands, I wasn't closing it to actually grip the bag. And so it was going forwards. It was going back. It was going everywhere but straight up. And so it's not the bag weight. It's figuring out how to press the bag because, again, not a super common event for us.
Wow.
And so it's not that we can't do the weight, is that we have to learn this technique.
I mean, yeah, you're not going to be able to press the same bag weight as you are a log. Have you done it before in comp?
Log or sandbag?
Sandbag, yeah.
Never.
Never. So if you don't mind, I'll give you some tips real quick because I've done it a few times.
You.
In USS Nationals, I had to learn. You got to be careful. And ladies, anybody listening, if you try and grab the bag, right, that's great if it's a loose bag. But if you've got brand new, bags, I don't know the brand. I think Freedom Strength.
Freedom.
If you got those
Yep,
brand new Freedom Strength bags, if they're packed tight, which I bet they will be,
it will
because
be.
it's a Cadillac show, they're going to be nice bags. You're not going to get purchase on the sides. You really got to try and get your wrist straps nice and tight and get them here.
Right.
And it makes it even harder because you're in here, but you gotta get that balance point. One thing I did that kind of helps is when I put my wrist wraps on, right? I'll put it extra high. Sometimes you can put it up on your thumb and your hand.
Sure.
And what that does is when your hand closes or opens and you bend like this, it creates like a shelf. Like imagine my hand is my wrist wrap. Instead of
Yeah.
being down here, it's up here a little more. And it just gives you that little bit of shelf instead of it rolling down. The only other thing, Freedom Strength, I don't think has the strap like Cerberus. So this would be a moot point. But anybody doing Cerberus presses, you want that strap horizontal, right? If the strap is vertical, it's slippery and it's almost a different material, right? It's thicker. If the strap's horizontal, you clean it to your lap, it's still horizontal. When you rotate it 180 to the press, now the strap's horizontal in the rack. And if your hand slips, guess what? It doesn't slip up that strap. It catches inside the strap. So at least maybe your non-dominant arm, just a few little things that
Yeah.
I shouldn't give any of the 90s because these little cerebral things are the reason I do so well. I'm not that strong.
90s can't
Yeah.
watch. That's what it is. They can't watch the podcast.
Yeah, we're going to make it private.
There we go.
All right. We're going to talk about events in a few minutes, but how does your experience at PSL, because you've done it 3 years in a row, compare to like the other big shows like North American Strongest Women, OSG, any other shows you've done? Single weight class versus, multi-weight class. 1 year you were indoors because of rain. How do you like competing on the beach?
Yeah. So PSL is totally different from North America's or OSG. Wow, words. So totally different field. Whether it be inside, outside, doesn't matter. The speed, the events, just everything is totally different from those two. OSG, as we all know, is a very long day. Regardless, like they have tried to speed it up by giving you times and stuff. It's still a long day because you still have all of those athletes or all those classes in front of you. While you're warming up and timing your warm ups. For PSL, there's not that. You're just there, especially with the relatively small field of women that we have. It's a very quick day. I mean, you're out of one event and you sit down for a second, grab your Rice Krispie treat, and you're into warming up for your next event.
Yeah. I know a couple years ago when I think it was the predecessor league that became PSL, they were on ESPN and like it was a 2 hour window live, like they had to get done. I think that's incredible. I heard guys are throwing up and stuff. And
Sure.
PSL kind of like, the show doesn't take 2 hours, but they kind of kept that. It's like, we're going, and
Yeah.
that's a good thing personally, I think that's a good thing for the live stream. If somebody's tuning in live, they don't want that dead time between events. And we're going to try and do something about that with interviews and stuff. Right while you guys are warming up, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. But the faster you can churn out these events, the better for the fans. Obviously, we got to think about athlete safety, things like that. I love it too. The medleys, it's almost like, and I would never say this. I certainly don't hope this comes off as a negative connotation, but it's like the CrossFittiest of the strongman, where like
Sure.
you have to test everything, right? And I'm not saying it's CrossFit, but like strongman, you need some strong events. These weights, we're gonna go over them. They're heavy. This is heavy shit, but it's fast.
Heavy and it's fast and it's a lot of conditioning. You and I were texting about that earlier. It's a lot of conditioning. Going in my first year PSL, I was like, oh, my conditioning's good. I'm fine. And I got there and I was absolutely gassed. So last year, like I was more prepared for that. Chad prepped me well. We hammered my conditioning, and this year is very much the same. So I'll go in, whether it be inside or outside. Heaven forbid we get pushed inside. We're gonna be outside, dang it. I'll be ready for the sun, the fast pace, all of it. So I'm confident in that aspect again for the second.
Yeah, in my opinion, something I never really talked about, but like the not typical, like the classic old school strongman that's like, oh yeah, overhead deadlift and maybe like a yoke run of farmers and a load, right? When it's just 50 feet, those guys are doomed. There might be a couple events that they'll do well in because they're quick. Like I think there's a 3-bag medley that like guys are already finishing in 20 seconds. Like don't need much conditioning for that. But overall, you need conditioning, and you also need the conditioning to last the event. And you also need the conditioning to be ready for the next event and be recovered. So it's going to be awesome. And so last year you guys had 6 events one day. Is it 6?
Yeah, 6 events one day.
Yep, and that's what it's been. this year there's a change. You want to say what it is?
Yeah, this year we've changed to we always want this even playing field with the men. So now we've got 10 events 2 days. So
There you go. That's awesome. I asked the boys about it, Burley, but we'll just reconfirm here for any of the ladies who jump in and listen. The ladies are going like early in the early, not the AM, but like the early group, and then the men, right? It's not going to go female, male.
nope.
That's
Nope. It's all women and then all men. Last year we knocked out 6 events and I think it was like 3-ish hours.
it's quick. That's quick,
So
especially in the
well, I
sun.
think we'll be fast again this year and get the men in there so they can get their day done as too.
It's funny. My wife is hoping for great weather because 2 years ago when it rained, it's a birthday weekend. So like I got to balance being a good husband and a good PSL volunteer. But
Right?
we're hoping for like nice 80-degree weather, not like 65. But for the athletes, they would probably love it. 60 degrees with sun, be perfect.
Sure. Yeah, but see, like earlier in the day, like I'm good with whatever. It's the men that get cooked later. So
Oh yeah.
bring on the heat because I'll be hanging out. Well, not the first day, but I'll hang
What
out
do
the
you
second.
say that? I messaged Tyler for the a PDF of the logo. I'm going to make a custom hat because I'm getting real thin. I don't think my scalp can take two
You
days,
need a bucket
2 days in
hat.
the sun. Yeah, I tan really well, but the head like I'll burn. It'll be
Just
bad.
burn.
Yeah, I do have a bucket hat. Maybe I'll just slap a PSL logo on it.
There you go.
That would be something that would be kind of cool to think of for the future. The hard part is the logistics of changing weights, and it's definitely way too late now. But as far as like trying to have a little bit more time in between events, maybe go female event one, then male, then female, then male. Right? It's just a lot more work on the volunteers to set up the bags, the logs, the weights.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think like with increasing us to the 10 events this year and like keeping the events the same as the men's, I think they were trying to decrease the amount of load on the spotters and loaders and not to mention like moving all of that equipment there. Because if we
Right.
have different events from the dudes, then that's just 10 times more of the equipment that has to be hauled from wherever it is to the beach too. So
Right, right. Yeah, this year's the same events though, right? So that's
it
like
is the same events this year.
slowly. Yeah, it's weird how there's always a little meat on the bone with improvements. Like you mentioned OSG, like I've done OSG twice, and like I think it was better than the past where you had to be there like the whole day. It keeps getting a little bit better, but you know what would be kind of cool too is I got to talk to Tyler about this stuff, but like what if you had an event like squats and you had head-to-head squats but women and men? Like granted the weights are different, but like wouldn't that be cool to see like a awesome U82 and that's just going right next to each other side by side, like the optics of having a male and a female compete at the same time, obviously not scored against each other.
Well, yeah, it's different, but it's still two at the same time. Yeah. I think that's the only one that we're not head to head in, just because those barrels on the end are so one off ish.
Yeah, right. It's hard to get another one. Plus,
Yeah.
you need a couple spotters,
Sure.
loaders.
Yeah, it's a big setup. It's a
You
big
need a lot
footprint on the
more.
beach. And yeah.
Yep. You got to maximize the efficiency on these volunteers because I volunteered 2 years ago and my whoop score has never been higher. Like it's awesome, but it was brutal in the most awesome way. And I look forward to it again. But this time I'm on the mic, so my voice will be gone, my body will be fresh. Um,
Yes, it will.
I'm sure I'm going to be helping lift some stuff.
Yep.
All right, so 10 events. So all right, cool. You want to talk a little bit about your like strategy with like maybe pertaining to like training, pacing, hydration, getting like a little bit of food in. Like you got to be careful if you only have 20 minutes, you don't want to eat something big and end up on the beach, right?
Yeah.
Um and then like your strategy with training, like what does your coach have you doing to be ready for that condition?
Yeah, so we've ran. I mean, even in my off season, we stay heavy on conditioning all the time. It doesn't matter if I'm prepping for OSG or prepping for PSL. Like it's the same. My conditioning is just hell all the time, which sucks in training, but it's great in shows because I'm maybe gassed for a second, but I recover really fast. So it's definitely paid off. And trust me, he knows if you don't do it. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he
Yeah,
can tell.
you that's one of those things you kind of can't lie because like I want to see a video, maybe he'll see you in person and be like, wait a minute, you said you did this like for 200
Yeah,
people.
why are you sucking air for so long? Like, yeah.
Yeah, yep. And
Yeah.
then conditioning will win the day. Like I don't know personally, like I'm known more for conditioning than strength. So like when we get in that deep water in a show, I love it when the guys are gassing and they can't finish like a sandbag to shoulder that they should be able to finish easily. Like it's like let's go because like you know who went into the deep water of the training, just like bodybuilding. Did you ever do bodybuilding?
I did. So
I
I
was gonna say
started.
I scrolled back in Instagram and I saw some poses So
You went deep, Dane.
I study it. I should put let's
You
see.
went deep.
Look at this. Let's get a little behind the scenes here, right? Okay. I got the dual screens going. I got my Word doc. I got the PSL. Ooh, yeah, don't screenshot that. That's the events. Um, but with bodybuilding, it's the same thing, right? You know, when you get on stage, you can tell who actually went the distance with like their stairmaster and their diet and their cardio, and who didn't, because like that conditioning, you get under them lights, they're not forgiving, right? So same thing with
Oh, at
conditioning
all.
for strongman. You
Yep.
know who didn't do it. You can get by, but there's nothing worse. I don't know. Me personally, from experience, the worst thing for me is like I said it. I manifest destiny at OSG. Like when you're doing a frame reformers and your grip's just not there, you
Yeah.
like you got 30 seconds left and you're just looking at your hands and you just can't do it. And you're like, do I just walk off? Like, what do I do?
Now
And
you're like, I guess I'm just cheer for the other person.
yep. So like when what I love is like when guys are like struggling on the steeplechase, like I did mine in 40 seconds. I walked off and I should have just watched everybody struggle, like respectfully, but like it's like
Sure.
then like you didn't put in the work.
Yeah,
Um,
it shows.
but then again, I don't have a 350-pound log, so um do you like competing outdoors? Because last year you had rain at the end, but like you guys were outdoors last year, right?
Last year we were outdoors. We didn't have rain. The men had rain. So we were good. We were there, my friend and I, Susan, that comes with me. We were there watching the men, and they got rain a little bit. But they were able. It was right at the end, like their gauntlet runs, if
And
I remember.
you like the outdoor
I
element, like
love it.
having a
I
ceiling.
love it. And PSL is really cool because you have like you're right on the boardwalk. So it's like all of these like random passerbys, like just tourists that like just stop and of course it's a fast pace. It's cool. You've got cakes, you've got these big implements and all this stuff. So it's a good eye catcher. And so you get a lot more people than just your friends and family there. Like you're competing
Yeah.
in front of an actual crowd, which is
Oh, that's
it's
awesome.
rare anymore.
Yep. Yeah, my job, because like the boardwalk's booming, right? Like there was a monster truck
Mhm.
rally down the street, like down the sand. My job as MC is, like I said, to channel that energy from you athletes to the crowd and vice versa. And more importantly, just try and get the crowd to stick around, right? Because like the bigger the crowd, the more energy. So I'm trying to brainstorm ways to get the crowd involved, like maybe let them come down and try the chain jag if there's time in between events. Maybe we could stall for you ladies. Maybe like do a giveaway, like, hey, everybody, write down your name and who you think is going to win this event, and we'll do a quick raffle, and I'll just donate, some money or something. I don't know, something, scratch tickets, something to like get the crowd to be invested in watching and sticking around more than just the spectacle. Because especially when you have time between events, that's when they're like, all right, cool, let's go see what's down the boardwalk. But if we could keep that energy, keep them all there, that's the goal. And obviously entertain the people at home.
Right.
Let's why don't we run through these events? So I haven't done this yet, right? Me and the boys, we talked about just like their favorite events, which I want to do with you. But I have all the events, so I'll read them off, right? And I won't go into the rules and stuff. You know them better than me, so I'll just read what it is, and then you can say if it's like, because like this keg medley, it's 2 rounds. So if I miss something, and as I'm going, we'll talk about them real quick, and then you can stop me and let me know, like what's your favorite and least favorite, right? And that can mean a couple things. It could mean like which one are you most excited for or least excited for, and which one do you think will be your best event and your worst event,
Yep.
right? So lot to unpack there, but so event one, everybody, is an axle, kettlebell, and keg press medley. 210-pound axle, 106-pound kettlebell, 180-pound keg. 60 seconds. You have to do it twice.
Mm-hmm.
That
But the
event.
axle is not just an axle. The axle's fixed.
Oh, it's fixed.
The
Okay.
axle is fixed.
Yep. For
So
those of you who know, that
it
makes a big
really
difference.
changes the game. For anybody that's not familiar with an axle, a fixed axle versus a regular axle is totally different. That's why our weight's only 210.
Yeah, you say only like what's your best axle press?
265 was my last max.
265. So yeah, 210. That clean is going to probably feel every bit of like 250ish, right?
Oh yeah, it does. Like, yeah, I obviously don't have a fixed axle, but I fix it as much as I'm able to. And just as soon as I got to I just wasn't prepared the very first time I did this, and I went to go clean it, and my my wrist said nope, and I just dropped it.
Oh
It
yeah,
just ran down my chest, and I'm like, cool.
yeah.
But
You don't get the rotation.
yeah, there's no rotation there. There's no give. But
Yeah,
as soon as I felt it the first, I was fine. So it's
yeah.
just the clean. Press is not the hard part. It's the clean.
Right. If you clean it, you're going to press it, as will most of the ladies. At least it's first. It's not third like my medley. And yeah, a regular axle, there's not a lot of rotation, but even just a little is enough, right? You got to be fast elbows and catch it. If you don't have a fixed axle, watch after we get done. Watch John Doyle's story. Stephen Bradley gave him tips on how to make one with rubber bands, and it looks pretty.
Oh, that's what I've been doing.
Have you? Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
good. I never seen that. So shout out to
yeah,
Stephen Bradley and John Doyle out there.
yeah. It's
Otherwise,
perfect.
you feeling good about that event? How about the kettlebell and the keg? That's decent for you.
The kettlebell, I was really concerned about the kettlebell because I'm not really a big kettlebell presser. There's really no reason. I do a lot of swings and things like that. But I have a 106 in my gym, and it's going really well. So I'm not worried about the kettlebell. Keg's always just awkward, but it's fine. I've been working with comp weight for quite some time now, so I think we'll be good on that event.
Keg's another one. Like the keg took guys soul at PSL 90. It was 240, I think it was. Like it's another one. Like if you get a really good clean and get it on top of your shoulder, like the press is like it's not
Yeah, the
much.
press is easy. Again, it's the clean. And like for me, I can't do that whole like roll it up your chest thing. My elbow just doesn't want to shoot through. I have to actually like set it up and down on my knee and
Yep.
like kick it and flip it up.
That's what I do. I call it crossbody. So one hand high, one low. You pull it into the hip crease, pull it into your shoulder. I'm lucky. You're pretty tall. How tall are you? You're like 5'9", 5'10" at least, right?
Oh, you're cute. No, 5'7",
Are you
five
that
eight.
short? Oh, all
Yeah,
right. I'm misremembering your height. Yeah, I'm a taller U90, so like I have that advantage on that event. But a lot of guys will roll it.
I can't.
Roll it up.
I've tried and tried, and I finally just got so pissed one day. I was like, forget it, and I put it up and down, and I was like, it's heavy, but we're gonna figure it out. And
Yep.
I flipped it and went. And I was like, all right, there it is.
There's so many different ways you can do it. I was watching Jordan Weichela's training, and he like rolls it, but then he like catches it. Like instead of rolling it, people usually roll it so the hands are where they need to be.
Yep.
He's popping it. He's so athletic with his log. He's popping it and just catching it and pressing it. It was pretty cool. I don't think I could do it, but dude's very athletic. All right, event 2, escalating deadlift. You got baskets. It's probably the same setup with like the baskets with the kegs in it, right? So that bar is extra whippy, deadlift bar, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It
So
will
it's a
be
little
on a
extra.
platform to make it more like from the floor style.
Right. That's why everybody's training on a platform, and it's got and everybody's using the looks like a mammoth bar because that thing does have a it has like that silver dollar feel to it where the weights
Oh, for
laying.
sure. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of slack in it before you actually pull it up off the ground.
Yep. Yeah. Because I remember CJ on the commentary. I ramped one of them, and they're like, "Oh, once you're ramping, you're done on this apparatus." And then I ramped it again. He's like, "Oh wow, he proved me wrong." And the reason is because like I'm not powerful off the floor, so like it wasn't shaking. Like most guys can just crank that weight, and the it does this. You know, it's like a butterfly
Yep.
reverberation. But you got 400, 420, 450, 470, 500, 520. And then is the 520 like for reps if you're capable? You see anybody getting reps on that?
I don't. Nadia's strong deadlifter. So is Aaron. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. Again, PSL is so different. Last year there was girls that came out that I was like, oh, they're gonna come and do great out here, and they just kind of like flopped. And like same with me, my first year out there, I just crapped the bed. I mean, on my last event, I straight up sat down on the competition floor. So I was like, yeah, I'm smoked. I'm done. Um, so it's anybody's game. That's the fun thing about this. There's so many different events, and yes, it's early on. But we'll see how the press goes. I know some girls are, babying some injuries and trying to rehab those to get there. So it's a guessing game, honestly.
Yeah, and then with event 1 having that axle clean, if people are struggling with that clean, that could sap a little bit of your deadlift strength because you got to be really powerful off the floor with that axle. That's the other crazy thing. I didn't bring it up. With 10 events, you have 10 events, but if you counted them up, I'm willing to bet you have 16, 17 different implements. So you're
Oh, I'm
training so
sure.
much different stuff. It's hard not to get little niggles. Happened to me last year on my shoulder on the sandbag. So much stuff. It's hard to master it all. You just got to be proficient at everything or try to be.
Yeah,
Uh,
everything.
Event 3, bag throw for max weight.
Yeah,
Um,
so we can choose which bag we start with. And we can just go to that bag first. We don't have to go lightest to heaviest or anything. It's just like a one bag. So if you start with like I think it's 40 and 45, you start with the heavy one and you chuck it over, like you can call it there.
and if you don't get it, can you go down? Like you have
Believe
75
so. I need
seconds.
to reread that PDF.
Yeah, I would think so. Like you have 75 seconds, so people are probably taking the time. But that's one where like if you're struggling with like 35, 40, 45, like it's like take your time, right? Like
Yeah, that's the thing.
no
Like you want to
rush.
get a couple good swings and then yeet it. You don't want to try to chuck it, five times.
What are again? I haven't seen too many comps with bag throws for the ladies. What are these ladies going to hit? like what do you see him hitting? 40,
I
45?
mean, yeah, I mean, I've seen 40 and 45 done multiple times in like a series, so I
Oh,
don't foresee that being a problem.
that's a heavy bag. And 15 feet from the crossbar. Bar height's 13. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's a woman's always a little bit lower.
Yeah, so we'll start away and then we can come back.
I did a comp once. It was a team comp, and they had two lanes, but one of the lanes was women and like the 80s, the men.
Yeah.
They forgot to move the bar up. Like my buddy smoked the run. He's not even good at sandbags. He smoked it, and I was like, hey, to the promoter, I was like, hey man, you forgot to put the bar up, and he's like, oh shit, and he's like, it's too late now.
It is what it is now. Yep.
It is what it is. Luckily, it didn't affect the scoring at the end too much. Um, all right, next, fatback farmers with weight added. So 210 and 230. So I think you're going, you want to explain it? I keep explaining them. You explain it.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll run it down. We'll hit the deadlifts. I think it's 3 deadlifts. They'll add weight and then we run it back. Which I'm excited for this one. I like farmers. I specifically like the PSL farmers. They're really freaking cool looking. We ran them last year. I was honestly worried about these, like the wood of them like banging into my legs and like kind of cutting it, and they don't. It's really smooth. So I just really like the farmers.
Yeah, kind of like they're probably similar to the Slaters. They got the big wood that they're not bad. And when you drop them, they don't bounce too bad. They might tip over, but they're not terrible.
Yeah.
And then you go halfway down, or how far are you going? 3 feet, 20 feet, and then you finish. All right, yeah. I was just saying because I watched some training. People are going down, doing the deadlift, and then just finishing the run.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You hope that people finish so that the volunteers don't have to reset those too much.
I know.
Hopefully, we got
Hopefully
some
we can all
dollies.
just finish so they can just start on the other end.
Yep, yep. And then with that kind of weight, is that heavy for you guys? Like, or is that going to be like a speed event, or you think you're going to see anybody tearing hands open? Hopefully
I
not.
think after the deadlifts, it's going to be challenging for some. The weight in our hands isn't necessarily a heavy weight, but given the events prior, it's going to start being taxing on that CNS at that point.
Yeah, and then that 230, that 20-pound jump, that'll add up after some
That's
deadlifts.
a big, yeah, that's a big jump.
Yeah, it's crazy. It adds up. Yep. And then the last event for day one is sandbag press, sandbag to shoulder, and a sandbag load, probably to 48 inches, right?
Yes.
175, 250, 225. So we already talked about it. This is the one we saw Aaron. We don't even know the weight. It looked like a big bag. It was probably
Yeah.
comp weight. Yeah, that's a heavy bag to press. It's not a heavy bag. Like I know you girls are going to throw it to the rack position, but it's just awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, this one gets a double thumbs down for me.
Is
I've
it?
talked to Tyler about it already, so I'm not saying anything he doesn't know.
Yeah.
But it's a fun event. I just personally am not awesome at it, so it's really frustrating for me. It'll be fine. I'll run the event well. I'm not worried about it. It's just frustrating. It's been a
Yeah.
frustrating trade.
It's one of those things where like if you had a consensus, right? If all 10 ladies, however many, said, hey, like this bag's really hard to press, they could lower the weight or they could make the press last at least, right? So that people aren't zeroing. Because that's a bad look too, right? If everybody zeroes an event, it just doesn't look good on screen, right? But
Right.
if everybody zeroes and like one or two people get it, well, then they look like badasses, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I think we'll see people get it. I don't think we're going to see a lot of zeros. Like I said, the bag's not heavy. It's just playing with the freedom bags once we get there and, figuring out how the hands need to work, how tight the bags are, if there's any give, because we have used these bags for a couple years now, but they refill them at the beach. So they should be nice and tight.
yep. Yeah, you gotta try like a tip. It's always try training on different stuff. Try training on some soft bags and some hard bags. Because if you go to the show and you have a soft bag, that can mesh up. Because if you're training like this, that bag's just gonna flop in between your wrists. So got to be prepared for anything. Are you personally, because like you already have the press medley, and I think there's some more pressing in day two, and you got this sandbag press. How much effort are you like? I would think if there's risk of zeroing an event, then you put extra effort into that press because like anybody who gets that the sandball and the sandbag to shoulder is probably not bad at all for you, right? I would think at your
Yeah,
level.
no, it's a
So,
250 bag to shoulder.
so like
So
if you get that sandbag press pretty quickly, if you train it hard enough and you get that, within like 8 seconds, you're probably smoking that event and that's serious points. But if you can't press the bag, it's like
right. And then it just
it's
screws
such a
you.
risk there. Yeah. You training it hard?
Yeah, yeah. We just hit it the other day. I think we've hit just about every event every week. So we're going through them pretty hard.
It's one of those things you haven't trained it very long. You said like one of the like maybe a week or two from now, it's something just gonna click and like you're gonna get comp weight, like no problem. Like it's
Right.
when it clicks, it's just like, oh bam. But then sometimes it's just like you go up and it rolls off the back and it's like, fuck, like, you know.
Yeah, that's what I posted, like a compilation of all of my fails from a day, and it's like going this way, and like knocking my head off, and like all. I was like, oh, that's just how it goes sometimes.
That brings up, so we'll take an intermission from events because it brought up another thought because now we're going into day two. That vent has a laser timer, right? So I think there's some lasers and maybe some combination of buttons, or they might have got rid of the buttons. But how do you like the lasers? And if they even still had the buttons, how do you like the buttons? Because I like it.
So this will be a first for me to use the lasers. We haven't got to use them the last couple of years. First year it was rained, we were pushed inside, so they got messed up. Last year just wasn't there. So this year we're going to use lasers. Super excited. I haven't used the buttons, so I'm honestly glad buttons are gone because it's one less thing for me to have to worry about. Like, okay, go touch that. Don't just because now you just run and you break the laser. I don't have to do anything.
Yep.
So I'm excited for the lasers. There's no human error because it never fails. Whether you have 2 or 3 timers, however many it be, you're all going to be off a little bit. So
Yeah.
there's no more being
That's
off.
that's the thing because some people will complain like somebody who forgets, they'll be like, oh, I got to run through this stupid laser, right? But it's like, dude, that's on you. You control your own destiny. If somebody's timing you, they're volunteers. Everybody makes mistakes. I've seen people at shows literally forget to hit the timer until somebody was 3/4 of the way through the yoke run, and
1,000%.
they just guess the time. And at a championship show like this or any other, it's don't get me wrong, things are usually pretty good. But like OSG with the 64s or the 73s, I think it was 64s. Meg Davis told me the top 5 were separated by less than like 3/10 of a second. Like that's insane. That's like this. You know what I mean? And that could be the difference between being in third or being a world champion. You know what I mean? And there's prize money on the line. So I'm
Right.
all
Yeah.
for
So
that.
I'm excited for the lasers. Running through it is just another rule to the event. It's no different than, okay, you have to take your hand off the sandbag for it to count.
Yep.
Run through the stupid laser. It'll be fine.
Yep. If anything, you just hope you're not first. Because like once you watch a couple of people go through the event and you like it's like optics. It's like, oh, run through the laser, run through the laser. You just don't forget, you
And
know.
you just know.
Yep. All right. So now back at it. Day 2, event 1, axle squat. Brutal start to the day. You've got a 2-inch axle with the jerk blocks. You got the big drums too, right? 415 this year. How many reps you getting?
Chad said, as many as you need, Chelsea. And I said,
Many
yes,
as
sir.
you need. Are
So,
you sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, this is my favorite event.
Is it?
Yeah, I love this event.
And do you think this will be like your best placing potentially?
Oh, I'm winning this event. I'm claiming it now. It's happening.
Awesome. Awesome. And all right, so I guess we could have like a Jeff Laney moment here because we talked about squats for like 20 minutes. The dude loves squats. Do you think you'll get more reps than Jeff Laney?
How many did he say he's doing?
I think he said he's got 20 in him if he needs it. He's hoping he doesn't need it.
Yeah, see, I don't want to have 20 in me, but I can rep out 20 if I have to.
No shit. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So
no, I don't want
how strategy wise, like that's another reason you're going to want to train that sandbag press because if you win that event, you'll know exactly what you're doing. If you only have to do 8 reps on an axle squat, you're going to be fresh as fuck fresher than anybody else going into the rest of the day. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's one. It's like a blessing and a curse, right? Because I think you said we're down. I don't know how many ladies we have, like 10 or so or less, right?
10 or so, yeah.
Whereas like the men last year had 29, right? And I think they're going to be in the 20s this year. We don't know yet, but when you only have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you can kind of pay a little more attention and strategize, especially if your coach is there with you, they can watch for you so you don't have to say, hey, listen, like so-and-so got 19 reps, but so-and-so got 12. And that person who got 19 is not necessarily a threat for the podium. So let's just do 13, right? If you don't watch, you might be banging away reps and it's like, hey, you already won the event, Chelsea. Like,
there's no reason. Yeah, because at that point, you're just wasting energy when you still have another 4 events to go on the day.
Yep. So hopefully you're near the top. I mean, selfishly, any fan of the sport's going to want you to like come in last on event 5. So we have to see you go first and set the pace. And then what that does, if you do 20 reps, the ladies are like, fuck, like, she got 20, like is everybody else going to get 12 to 20? Like you can't take it easy. You can't be like, oh, I'll just do 6 and that's good enough, because then everybody gets 7 to 20. There's so much strategy that goes into this stuff, and a lot of people
a lot.
Yeah, I think the people who obviously need to be super strong and well-rounded, right? But then if you can strategize, you become like the perfect strong, like Mitchell Hooper. The guy wins so much because he like also strategizes. He's smart.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, it's what I love about the sport. All right, cool. So you heard it here first. 20 reps. This next one, the boys were dreading this one, which I thought they would have said they dreaded the duck walk. The Husafel carry into log press into backwards chain drag. And I think that chain drag's brutally heavy. You've got a 250-pound Husafel, 210-pound log, 12-inch. Is that the norm for 82s? You guys don't use 10-inch, right?
In this level of show, 12-inch, yes. And same OSG, North America is like we're all 12-inch at this
You like
point.
that bet? You like that better
I
than 10?
love it.
Yeah, yeah. And then a heavy anchor chain, heavy. We don't know the weight.
Yeah, last year we had an anchor. I want to say it was like 600-ish. I think the weight's going to be a little more this year, but I loved the I think it was like yoke farmer's chain last year, and this year it's Husa log chain, and I'm excited for it. I like the chain drag. It's a nasty finisher. I just like the event in general, and I think
It just smokes the quads. Like,
you
I mean, that smokes the quads. Like
yes.
again, you need that condition, you need the oxygen, stop the lactic acid. Like, and then sometimes, like, it all depends. Like the surface, like I'm pretty sure we're going to be on stall mats out there. Like
Yes.
that, it's not gonna do you any favors. So
No,
that's
it doesn't. There's no give. Like all the friction is there, and if you don't push your hips through and pull like you've never pulled before, like you're gonna stop and hate your life because then you've got to restart.
yeah. And then you got that log. You got to hit that for 3 reps. That's a good amount. 30-foot carry, so not the longest carry. That's good because that'll tire people out.
Yeah.
But yeah, 210 for 3. That's got to be pretty heavy. Like 7 events into a show with already 2 overheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's light, Dane.
No, of course. And then
Everything's heavy.
is that press away or clean every rep on the log?
Clean every rep.
Yeah.
Every rep. As hard as possible.
Tyler's throwing you guys to the wolves. It's brutal. This is going to be.
Just if you think it's a little bit easy, just think of the hardest way, and that's how it's going to go for PSL.
Yeah, this is going to be a bloodbath. If it's like 85 degrees out, y'all are doomed.
I know. I'm glad we're early.
It's going to be awesome. Before we get to the last 3 events, like, so day 1, you're probably going to do your events and then get out of there, hydrate, food, shower, recovery. Day 2, you plan on hanging out and watching and stuff?
Yeah, day 2, I'll probably end up helping. I usually volunteer most of all of the PSLs, minus this one, obviously. But yeah, I'll probably end up helping, just being around. I'm usually like more of like a gopher after a taxing long day.
I would think so. Like it's especially if it's still nice out. Like, and then because you guys probably do awards and stuff before the men go.
No, we do them. Well, we've done them after the men both years.
Oh, really? So you either got to like leave and come back on day 2. Because one reason, selfishly, like I would love it. I bought a mic already, a wireless mic. I'm thinking about buying a dual mic. Right? Why not? Because selfishly, like if you're hanging out, say like Erin's hanging out, right? I don't think any stranger to a microphone. Like you ladies can like jump on commentary with me. Not commentary, sorry. Other guys are doing commentary. I'm MC, but like it'd be cool to have somebody to feed off of, like somebody who just did the event, like you just did squats earlier in the day. Now the men are going. You can speak from experience while they're going and talk to the crowd if you'd like to. I'm more than happy to share the mic if Tyler will let me.
Yeah, I'll be around.
I just got to watch my potty mouth. I swear a lot, but once I have the mic in my hand, I put on my professional. Oh, I know. I swore once at PSL on accident, but I was in a lot of pain. I was like, it was rough. I apologize.
I did too. Stand back shoulder, and the mic didn't pick it up. Like the cameras didn't pick it up, but you could clearly read my mouth.
Yeah,
I got in trouble.
Yep. Oh yeah, mine was at the Baltimore qualifier on stones. I blew my back out event 1, so like the Cairo was working on me the whole day, and we persevered. But I did 4 or 5 reps, whatever it was, and one of them it hurt so bad I just let out a F word, which I swear to, but whatever. And Tyler was right there on the timer, and I'm like, dude, sorry. He was like, dude, it's fine. Like, you're fine. But don't swear at PSL. It's a family-friendly show. All right, so that's the Husafel. All right, and then we got a keg throw for max height and distance. That's 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And you have to try and clear all the kegs, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And we ran it last year. And so it's like the further you get it, like the more points you get. He's got zones.
Yep.
So it's kind of fun.
I noticed. So I don't know if this is a typo, but it says the bar will be 15 feet high for this.
Oh, great.
So I don't know. Maybe we'll ask Tyler, because like the other one's 13. Because I would think with this one, you want the distance. You need the height to get over, but you also want the distance for the
Yeah.
landing, right?
Yep.
So maybe he'll lower that height, because usually 13 is a standard height for
For
a female.
women, yes.
So if any ladies watch this, this is your chance to reach out to the league and ask if that's a typo. How's that event for you? 40 pound keg. Is that I've never thrown a pony keg. Are they harder than a sandbag? I would imagine they are.
Yeah, they are. They're different. So we threw them last year. That was really my first run with them. Before throwing them at comp, I had only touched one pony keg once. I just don't have them. They're just not a really accessible thing here. But they're fine. The way that I throw is different from other. I like my hands close together, right on the lip. Other people hold the handles. It's just too wide for me.
Right.
I'm too short for that. So, but they were fine. The 40 tripped me up. I almost had it. It just caught. So we'll get it this year.
It's an interesting event because, like, with the heavier weight, you just got to do your best to clear the bar, I'm sure.
Right.
And with lighter weight, you want that trajectory. You don't want to throw too high of an arc because you'll lose the distance. But if you go for distance and you throw it under the crossbar, you got to go get it. You got to chase it.
Yep.
And then the problem I noticed in 2024 is, like, when you have to run off the platform into the sand, now you're running in sand.
Yep.
And it's like quicksand. Like, that's brutal.
It's awful.
So that's another cool event though. Throw events always look cool to watch too, you know.
Yeah. And that one's just fun. It's just different. You're chucking kegs into the sand. It's a fun event.
Did you say which event you're not looking forward to yet? Or did you not get to it yet?
I really don't like the sandbag press load shoulder.
Sandbag press, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just the pressing portion, right?
Yeah, really. Like just it's stupid.
I feel you. It is heavy. I failed the second bag at USS Nats. It was too heavy, but I got the first one at least. But
Good.
duck walk, sandbag to shoulder. I think this is probably going to be the most grueling event because I think the thing is, like, if your conditioning runs out, you want to beat the clock. You know, you don't want your conditioning to beat you. But you got a 240-pound duck walk and a 200-pound sandbag. You got a duck walk 30 feet, and then you got a sandbag to shoulder, duck walk back 30 feet, sandbag to shoulder, and keep going for a minute. I did this event. Brandon Burley was training it. And I said, to be in solidarity with him, I just did it. I was in my gym. I said, fuck it, I'll do it. And I did a little lighter weight than him. It's brutal. Like your
It
quad.
lights your entire posterior up. All of it.
Yeah, what's funny is he said glutes, and maybe it depends on how you duck walk. I notice it in my calves and quads, not my glutes. But maybe
I'm in my hamstrings and glutes.
yeah, so it must be different for everybody. It's weird. I think duck walk's stupid too, but I like it because I'm a tall 90, so it's like an advantage. You're training, from experience. You're training with that drum high, right? You're not putting the handle up high, right?
Yeah, I was talking to Tyler about that last week. I was like, man, Dane, you made a really good post the other day. I was like, that was really smart. Like, but if he could, stop telling everybody, that'd be great too.
We want to see everybody do their best, right? And
A
you know what?
1,000%.
The reason
Which, if you watch PSL, like you're familiar. Most of these girls have competed at PSL or seen or been around. I know Erin didn't compete last year, but like she was there. So I mean, everybody's seen the dog. It's not a secret.
Yeah, and so it's funny because it's not a secret, but it's something that, like, there's little things in strongman, little nuance that people just don't pick up on because so many people. I've watched duck walk training, not just for this show, and everybody's training with that handle super high, and it's like, dude, that's not a duck walk.
And that barrel, like, especially, I mean, you're taller, so it's not as bad for you, but so wide for us, like, I just feel like it's barely in between my legs. It just bounces on my quads the entire time.
Because I actually kind of learned the hard way because every duck walk I've ever done until PSL was I've done like 3 of them, surprisingly. It's been a long pin, and like one of them was so long I was able to run. It was like they're like, holy shit, this guy's flying. But then we got to PSL and he had that drum. I'm like, dude, that thing's brutal.
It's a game changer.
And guys were falling and stuff. And even me with my leverages and height, I was kind of detrained too. I didn't train for the show. I just jumped in last minute, but I couldn't. Like, I'd pull it up high and I get that wide stance, and it still ate my thighs for lunch. Like, I had bruises. It was absolutely brutal. And then we had the same one. I did a little bit better. I think I had a wider stance because I knew what to expect. So going into the 90 final, I literally put if I wasn't training heavy enough, I put like 10-pound plates in there to get the top plate wide.
Up high enough. Yeah, I was not ready for it last year. I was not prepared. Like, I had duck walked, but I was not ready for that specific duck walk. And I remember being like halfway down, and I actually watched the video earlier, and I put the duck walk like in front of my quads and like kind of held it with my bite and just like started walking it down.
Yeah.
It was awful.
That's what Josh Dodges did. He pulled it right up into his hips and he just
Yep.
walked with his feet together. It's slow, but it worked for him.
Yeah, it got me to finish.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I think the 64s were with us, right? 60, yeah, no,
Mhm.
73s, 70,
In
73s.
Baltimore.
And they had at the Virginia, they had the event for 90 seconds and they were like just thrashed. Like that's brutal. 90 seconds is probably too much. Even 60 seconds
It's
is
a
brutal.
long time for max distance.
I'm excited to see how people do and how much they train it, because the thing is, a duck walk, it's not inherently heavy. Like 240 pounds is not much
The
for you.
duck walk is not heavy. It's the entire day before, all of the events prior, and then this is it. Because we had this event last year, we just didn't have it for max. We had a duck walk down, sandbagged his shoulder once or twice, and then duck walk back. And last year, it put some of us down. One girl passed out. All the gravity turned on for me. I couldn't pull the sandbag off the floor. It's a nasty event.
Yeah, yep. Once I'm just looking back at the sandbag. Where was the other sandbag event? There it is. Oh, so you got the three sandbag event. You have a 225 shoulder. So at least this one's a little bit lighter, but it's with the duck walk. So you guys will be
Mhm.
throwing that 200-pound bag, but like you'll see who trained it hard. And then
Yeah.
and the reason I don't mind sharing, Chelsea, is because people get social media blindness, right? So I
Yeah.
shared it, right? I tagged PSL. A few people paid attention. We're talking about it now, but we're gonna see at the show who didn't train with their handle nice and low. And it's funny because we're giving out free smoke and we'll see who pays attention, right? Um,
Yeah. It's
I,
a
I will,
national.
yep, I will quiet down on the tips when I get closer to my U90 show. That's it.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna come out with tips then.
That'll be my revenge. And then that bleeds right into the final event, the keg gauntlet. 200, 225, 250, 15, 10, and 5 feet away. Oh, that's all right. So they're a little closer than the gauntlet I did. But you have
Yeah,
to
because the gauntlet with the sandbags, they were all far away.
far away. Yeah. Would you rather do keg carrying load or sandbag carrying load? What do you like better? Because I got
Bags.
mixed results.
I
Bags?
like sandbags.
Me too. Me too. I something about the keg's got the handle, which is nice, but it's out in front of you even more. Like I straddle a sandbag and like ride it up my legs. The keg, with my low back problems, it just like the sandbag just contours to your body. It feels like home. The kegs,
Yeah, the
not
keg
my,
is
not
like
my,
a straight leg deadlift up, and then if you don't sit back hard, you're going forward with that sucker.
yeah. So it's crazy because some people are just really good with kegs. Some are really good with sandbags, and then obviously there's people who are good at both. But I would absolutely prefer a sandbag, especially because you have to do this multiple times if you advance. Right? It cuts down 50%. So say there's 10 ladies, it goes 10, 5. Maybe somebody gets a bye, 3, 2, 1, whatever it is. So you might have to do this event 4 times to determine the winner.
Yeah, with no rest.
No rest, right? The only
Yeah,
rest is like if you go, it would benefit you to go first, but that means you're in last place, so you don't want that. Because if you go first, then there's 4 other rounds, so you'll have
yeah.
10 minutes.
That's usually like one and two end up getting to go against each other, like at the last first run through.
Yeah, and then I would assume whoever, if there's odd number of people, or even like the winner would get a bye. Whoever had the fast.
I think, and I could be very wrong, but I think it's like the first place person, like person in first, gets a bye to like the second round if there's an odd. I
If
think.
there's odd, and if it's even, say it's 10, and then you cut it in half, that's 5. Oh yeah,
Then
you
they
get.
get a bye because Sam had a bye last year.
Is this one head to head? It wasn't at my show, but last year it was head to head. So it was. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
why
because Sam
that's
had
why
a
you
bye
did that.
last year in our show.
You could either do a buy if it's all agreed upon, and the person with the best time gets a buy. I would say that's fair because you had the best time, or somebody just has to go alone and it's just their time. You
Yeah.
know, because that's another question. When it's head to head, right? Like say it's you versus Erin. Whoever wins out of you versus Erin goes on, right? Or is it the 5 best
Well,
times?
in the first run, it's going to be the five best, and it might not be like you and I, if we were competing, we might both make it to the next round if somebody else had a lesser
Oh,
score.
that's a time, right? Okay, yeah. So like, if you and I go head to head and we finish in like 20 and 21, but everybody else was like 30 seconds, I'm not punished because I happen to go against a great keg loader. Because if they were to do seeding, right, you would think first place would go against last place, but sometimes the person in last place is just a gifted mover,
Yeah.
and then that 10th place person could knock out the first place. So that makes sense. It should absolutely be time. The head to head aspect is just so it looks cool and pushes you.
And
because
if
that can
I'm wrong,
keep you up.
Tyler will definitely correct me, but I'm 99% sure that's right.
Yeah, because like that's the thing too. Like, would you, if say you're going against somebody, right? You have your game plan and stuff, but if you notice like they beat you to the crossbar, they're ahead of you. Does that get in your head? Like you might be like, oh shit, they're ahead of me. I have to rush, and like that maybe that pushes you to be better and faster, or maybe you make a mistake because you were rushing. Because I've seen a
So
lot
in
of
my
people mess up on
in,
this gauntlet.
yeah, in my first year, it definitely like got in my head. In the last, I think I made it to the second or the third run. I genuinely can't remember, but I was against Sue, and I just remember like she was on bag three, like going to load it already, and I was still like struggling to pick it up. Again, my conditioning was not there first,
Yeah.
and so I was struggling to pick it up, and she was going to load it, and I was just like, no, I'm done. Like I'm not gonna keep trying to get why because she won. Like I wasn't moving on at that point. She beat me.
All right.
Um, so last year didn't really get in my head. I was pretty secure with where I was in the standings and everything. I knew what I had to do. I knew where I needed to land within the gauntlet, and I mean, we did. I did what I needed to do. So I just kind of went out and did my thing. So I've become a little more calm.
Mhm.
So I don't get all like worked up in the gauntlet anymore. I like head to head things.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I kind of wish mine was head to head because like I was talking to the boys about it. Like I went slow because I knew the time to beat. It was like slow. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, I got about 45, 50 seconds, but I took a little too long. And if somebody was across from me, I maybe would have went into my last load a little faster. Um, but you got so you got a maybe I won't call it a break, but you got the keg throw at event 8, right? And it's certainly not a break, but keg throws aren't the hardest thing to do. It's
Sure.
not for time. But you got that Husafel log backward chain, and then 2 events later, you got duck walk sandbag to shoulder, and then you got the keg medley.
Who
That's a
needs a
rough. That's a rough finish. They're gonna have a delay to get the men started because you ladies are just gonna be dead on the ground. We're gonna have to like get a. They're gonna have to drag you off the field, the
Yeah, I think
battlefield.
I'll just live in an ice bath that night.
Yep, yep, that's brutal. So, all right, that's it for events. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that with me. Now I know the events a little bit better. Um, like what I'll do, I won't go over all the events, everybody. Now going forward, I'll just ask people what their favorite event is, what they're looking forward to. Um,
Yeah.
who are you? Who are you looking forward to compete with? Maybe somebody you haven't competed with before, or somebody you like competing with that you've done a bunch of times, or both.
I've competed with most of these girls quite a few times at this point. I'm excited Sue's back. She's been out for a while with neck. I competed first PSL 2 years ago with her. So I'm excited she's back for this year. Nadia's coming out, Erin's coming out, Lauren Ryder, Lydia. Um, there's quite a few. Burva's coming back over. So she's always a lot of fun to compete with. She's wild. So I'm all the girls really. I'm excited to see them all and get out there and do what we do.
Awesome. Who are you not looking forward to compete with? I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Let's get this thing going. We'll fire up the algorithm right there. Funny Sue Eager story. I'm not sure if you heard it. I think I told it on a podcast, maybe. I was at the Arnold. I was in line. I was coaching, so I was not cutting weight at all. I waited in the weigh-in lines, and Sue happened to be right next to me. I didn't know who she was. I never met her. She looked familiar, but I never met her. And she was just fired up, man. Like when you cut weight, if it was rough, you're hungry, thirsty. The weigh-in lines aren't moving. People were cutting, right? Like could have been policed a little bit better. And I made some suggestions about that. If you just have like some signs, like each weight class weighs in, because if you have times, you should hold people to that. OSG did a decent job of it, although people weighed in early because it's in essence, it's a form of cheating. If a 105 weighs in 3 hours before they're supposed to, that's a 3 hour advantage, right? And then it's strongman. But anyway, Sue was like fired up, and we were in line next to each other for over 2 hours. Didn't talk the whole time, and I'm just, you could tell Chelsea, I'm da, 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 da. And I'm like the mayor. I know everybody in there. People coming up to me, Dane, what's up? And Sue's like, and then finally, right when we got in towards the room, we realized how much of a shit show it was. Like, not to say anything negative, but the weigh-in lines are always a shit show. And we were just talking about it, right? And I was like, man, I was joking around. I was like, this lady's probably like, well, this guy shut the fuck up. Like, she's like, dude, I'm ready to strangle you. And then we became friends. And she said she wanted to come on the podcast before I even knew she was doing PSL. So I look forward to talking to her. We exchanged information and stuff. Like I said, I thought she looked familiar. I think we did a show where we are both at the same show. We just never met. It might have been PSL 24. Did she do that?
probably.
Might have been that one. But anyways, it was just funny because I even said it to her. I'm like, you probably hate me right now because I'm like, I was trying to be cognizant of my surroundings because
Right.
I was
We're all
there.
trying.
Oh man, OSG 24. I had a horrific weight cut, and it was rough. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been. Um, you you want to do any predictions too soon? Like top five?
I would love to, but I genuinely like I see Erin's posts every now and then, and it's mainly like her doing her runs and silly things with Steven, stuff like that. I haven't watched any of the girls' stuff, and I do that intentionally, like unless PSL shares it, just because they're in my top feed. Like
Yep.
I don't see a lot of things, so I can't make a prediction, not an accurate one.
No, that's all right. That's good. I mean, that's a good thing, right? Like I'll creep out my opponents, and it's never like because I'm like, oh, I need to pull out of a show or anything, but like you just kind of like for kind of game planning, right? If there's events that you can game plan, where it's like, hey, I really want to win this one, so I know what I have to do on a deadlift or something. But
I leave that to Chad. I'm like,
yep,
Chad, you creep, you do the things.
yep.
I'm
I
just here.
Chad Coy, right?
Yes.
I met Chad at OSG.
Yeah.
Nice guy, nice guy. It's funny. I told him I shook his hand and told him I was emceeing, and I told him I was thinking about doing PSL Masters, right?
Ah,
And he's like, oh, that'd be great. He's like, I'll talk to Tyler. I would love to have you, see if we can get you in there. And I was like, I didn't say anything, but in my mind, I'm like, dude, I just top 10 to OSG, like I'm qualified. And
thanks, Chad.
I told Tyler, and Tyler was like, oh, Chad. He's like, Chad clearly doesn't know who you are. And I was like, it was kind of nice of
Oh.
Tyler to say that. But I would like to do Chad's show this year if I feel good. It's 2 weeks after PSL 90.
You
So
can do it. Come to St. Louis. It'll be great.
if I feel good, what I might do is I'll ask Tyler if I mean if I have to, I'll just pay the entry fee because like it's probably closes like 3 weeks before. But if I could be kind of a last minute addition, I have plenty of
Yeah.
PSL t-shirts because I gotta go based on how I feel before I book a flight and Airbnb and all that stuff, you know. But I'll tell you what, I don't have any more time off work, so I would literally fly in Friday night, weigh in Saturday morning, because I'll be like 210 pounds because I'm doing
Yeah.
Unite. So I'll literally be like the skinny guy at PSL Masters, and I'll probably zero the squat.
No, you'll be fine.
But I hear
And it's
great
in
things
St.
about
Louis.
Chad.
We'll have to do it.
I would look forward to competing. Are you going to be there? Is that
Oh
near your
yeah.
house?
Yep, I'll be there. St. Louis is basically home. So I'll
Awesome,
definitely be there. I'll be down at the Expo one. I mean, I'll basically be at all the PSLs this year volunteering.
awesome. All right. So one of my questions that I ask, I want to interview. I want to try and interview all the ladies if I can before the show. Who would you like to see me have on next or in the future?
Yeah, so
What
I'm gonna call out Erin Murray to do next, whether you do just her and Steven, however you want to do it.
awesome.
But yeah, let's get them on.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Chelsea set me up with Darren, and Aaron and I and possibly Steven are going to do an episode. I thought it'd be cool to do one that because they're a couple, they're both competing at this championship, probably supporting each other. I did one like that with Meg and Tyler Davis. So I'd like to do that with Aaron. I would happily just interview Aaron on her own if she doesn't want Steven on there for some reason. But I'll reach out to her. And then I wanted to ask you
Yep.
if you'd like, because you were the first lady I reached out to, and I don't know the ladies that well. Would you, if I can put together, if you saw the one I did with Burley, I had Burley as the coach and then his two athletes. It was a cool roundtable, right? I really enjoyed that. And I'm looking to put a few of those together with the men. I'd like to do that with the ladies. So if you'd like to be something of a co-host and join me with like maybe one or two ladies, you know, after we
Hell
do
yeah,
everything,
that'd be cool.
right? It'd be cool, like kind of like a vibe, talk to the ladies, see what they're excited about, feed off each other. And really, I'll get out of the way. I'll just hang out in the corner and let the ladies talk. You know what I mean?
Girl time.
Yeah, hell yeah. Because like the more I can talk to you ladies, the more I get to know you, and the better job I can do on the microphone.
Right. Make
Without
you
having
guys
to just without having to scroll back 2 years and look at old body pictures
all
on
of my
Instagram.
bodybuilding pictures. God bless.
Oh my god, you ever look back
So,
at your like you ever look back at the beginning of your Instagram and like I remember I couldn't press a 90-pound circus dumbbell, you know, and it's like you look back to see how far you come, you know.
yeah, I
Looking
was
back.
little baby bodybuilder Chelsea. I was tiny back then. I was like
Yeah,
160 pounds soaking wet.
really. Yeah, strongman bulks us up, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Takes
190
away
baby.
takes away a little hair and I'm getting old, but it's fun. Any anything else you want to discuss before we go? Like you got any sponsors or anything, training partners you want to shout out, anything like that?
I wish I had a training partner. No, I train by myself at my own gym. So it's been long sessions, that's for sure. I was talking earlier, that's a hard way to go when you train by yourself and prep by yourself. It's just long sessions.
Yeah,
Um,
especially with medleys because you have to set up. so much stuff. God forbid if it's a yoke farmer. It's like, oh my, so much setup.
Yeah. No, I would have to order more weights, I think, if it was a yoke and farmers.
For me,
Uh,
it's the power stairs. I go to the gym down that I used to go to, and there's no plates out there. I almost want to buy a lockbox and buy my own plates because like rolling all the plates out to the power stairs is brutal, but worth it, but brutal.
yeah, I have a dolly at my gym to help me. It saves a lot of time.
So no
Uh,
training parties. Got any sponsors or anything you want to shout
yeah,
out?
so I do have sponsors. I've got John Henry's. They do all of my protein meats, all that fun stuff.
Oh, nice.
Gainiac Nutrition. There's supplements. They're out of Lubbock, Texas, but they ship all over. And then we've got, oh, I'm spacing Zone on
I
my
was gonna
forehead.
say, yeah, you got a headband on.
Zone on my forehead. So yeah, we've got Zone smelling salts. So they're super awesome. Them and they've got Serious Steel. So all the bands and
Zone sponsoring PSL, right?
heck yeah, they are.
Awesome. Yeah, because I talked to Tyler. I might, if the sponsors are interested, I might have the sponsors come on, talk about that dynamic, or maybe I could put something together, cut together a quick YouTube on the beach. Like what I might do is just carry my phone around and do a quick episode before I
Oh,
have MC duties. But maybe instead of a PSL hat, I can cop a zone headband and wear that while I'm MCing. So I
there
look,
you go. Yeah,
I
I
like
got
I
a hold
like
of them
headbands.
and I when they asked me to join the team, I was like, sure. And then I asked them, I was like, do you guys have headbands by chance? Because I live in these things all the time.
Yeah.
And so they got them ordered. And so now a lot of us athletes have these and I love them.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of guys, a lot of the companies will do headbands because like people like headbands. Headbands are
They're
awesome.
simple. It's just
I like
junk
to wear headbands walking
brand.
around. Yeah. Hides my receding hairline, you know. All right, Chelsea, this was a lot of fun.
Yes, it
Guys,
was great.
give her a follow, Mighty Mouse 573 on Instagram. Chelsea, I will hopefully see you soon for one or two, maybe three more episodes with some other ladies.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks
Thanks
for
a lot
having me
for
on.
Thank you.